Hey, folks. Now, I know everybody's seen it, but I have to give my 2 cents about the season premiere of Game of Thrones Season 8. And I have to say, oh my word, it was an excellent, excellent episode. Now, I'm going to start off with the fact that the opening title sequence uh, was awesome. We've had the other one for several years now, and there's been subtle changes to it from episode to episode. But this one was a drastic change, and it was just really cool seeing, the wall taken down, and you kind of see the path of where the, White Walkers are going to, Hearth, the last Hearth, and then the Winterfell and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure if you go frame by frame, you'll probably get a lot more information uh, as far as how the season's going to go. But it was really cool just to see the inner hallways and everything from Winterfell to the Red Keep. I thought that was really good. So this is going to be a spoiler filled recap and review here, just to give you a forewarning. So if you haven't seen the episode, go stop the video, watch the episode, and then come back. But we see all the troops that Daenerys has gathered come to Winterfell, and everybody in the north, is kind of giving them the evil eye. And it was pretty cool. We get, Arya sees Jon Snow, but he doesn't see her. But we get to see some awesome reunions here. We get to see, Jon Snow sees Bran for the first time since season 1. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, first time he sees him in a while. Let's put it that way. So, we get that reunion. Jon Snow sees Arya, for the first time since season 1. That was really awesome. That was a really cool reunion. And of course, we get there's other reunions, and I'll speak about that later. But we get a lot of really really cool things in this episode. Uh, as far as Jon and Daenerys riding off with the dragons, that was pretty cool. A little bit of the CGI was kind of wonky there. A little bit of the green screen, but that's a small complaint. But I thought it was really cool. Sansa, she was worried about the logistics. She's like, hey, I have all these people here. How they're gonna eat and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was a good aspect to think about because no one really thinks about that when it comes to these type of war things. It's like, hey, people have to eat. What about supply lines and all that? Uh, I thought it was interesting that I never really thought about it, but Tyrion Lannister and Sansa are still technically married. And I thought that was cool that Tyrion brought that up. He's like, hey, you ran off. But so that's going to be interesting where that goes. And then you have Cersei and Euron Greyjoy. They do their thing. That was all right. It was really cool to see Theon go rescue his sister. And first thing his sister does is headbutts him. Because he ran off. It was either last season or the season prior. I don't remember. But then as soon as she headbutts him, she picks him up. She's like, all right, let's go. So that was a cool thing. And so this whole episode was just kind of just starting things up. It's unfortunate that this season only has 6 episodes, and it's all. But I have to admit the thing at the end, and these are really cool things. Was one, Arya sees the Hound, and the Hound kind of looks at her, and he wants to do something, but he thinks better of it. And he gives a cool line. He goes, you left me for dead. And her reply was, well, I robbed you first. And that was pretty cool. And then we immediately go into the scene with Arya and Gendry. And I have a feeling that, the show is trying to put a little bit of romantic undertones for Arya there. So, I'm not too sure how to feel about that. But, it's pretty cool. But then we get to the big part where Lord Umber, who had to go back to his area, his house, to try and gather men, we find out that they were victims of the Night King. And that was a really, really intense moment because you see Tormund and the Night's Watch, and it's all dark and dreary and very very spooky. And then they see what happens, in the halls there. But then right after that, as they're talking, boom! And I'm not going to mention the scene. I'll keep that one for those who haven't seen the episode. But boom! Instant scare, instant jump. As far as I can tell, I jumped in my house, and the rest of the world jumped at the same time. So that was really cool. And then after that, we see a scene where where Daenerys meets Samuel Tarly, and I have to give to Daenerys. She is just upfront with who she is and what she has to do, and it was really cool to see that where she goes, "Oh, you're Tarly, you're Tarly, you're son of Randall Tarly." She goes, "Yeah, I kind of had to smoke your dad and your brother." And regardless of how his dad treated Sam still felt sorrow and for the loss of his family, even though his dad wanted to kill him. I thought that was interesting. But all in all, he felt sorrow and he felt angry, and then he felt compelled to go tell John, which I thought was weird because it seemed that John had been there for a while before he met up with Sam. Uh, but at the same time, John didn't know he was there, so I'll give him that. But anyway, we didn't see Gilly. That was interesting. So anyway, moving on. But Sam proceeds to tell John his true heritage, and we see John and his reaction. And so far, that's going to be interesting how that goes. So we have 5 episodes, but I have to give it to the final shot where we see Jaime Lannister show up at Winterfell, and the first person he runs into is Bran Stark, the three-eyed raven. But it's the kid. He pushed out of a window on the first episode. Kind of a circle back to the first episode, and that I'm surprised we didn't hear him say anything. But that was a heck of a final shot there. So I have to give it to the guys over at Game of Thrones. They did a very well put together episode. I really, really liked it. I'm excited to see the remaining 5 episodes. I'm kind of sad that it's only a 6-episode season, but I'm all in. Let's get it done, and let's can't wait till next week. So anyway, wanted to know your thoughts on the season premiere of Game of Thrones. What did you like? What did you not like? What were your favorite reunion pieces? Did you like the reunion of Arya and Jon, Arya and Hound, Arya and Gendry, Jon and Sam? Or did you like some of the new introductions between Daenerys and Sansa? Looks like Sansa's not going to give Daenerys any slack, and that's going to come to a head. It looks like it's going to be a tension-filled season. And oh, I forgot to mention Cersei. Oh my word, oh, she's gonna have Bronn go after Jaime and Tyrion. Oh man, that's gonna be an interesting story arc. Oh, golly, this season's gonna be so good. I sure hope so. Anyway, let's talk about it. Post it in the comments below what you liked, and if you like what you heard about this recap and review, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and until next time, peace.